Nerd Rage Renegades.
Gonna take you back to the past to play the shitty games that suck ass. He'd rather have a buffalo take a diarrhea dump in his ear. He'd rather eat the rotten asshole of a roadkill skunk and down it with beer. He's the angriest gamer you've ever heard. He's the angry Nintendo nerd. He's the angry Atari Sega nerd. He's the angry video game nerd. When you turn on your TV, make sure it's tuned to Channel 3. He's got a nerdy shirt and a pocket pouch, although I've never seen him write anything down. He's got a power glove and a filthy mouth. Armed with his zapper, he will tear these games down. He's the angriest gamer you've ever heard. He's the angry Nintendo nerd. He's the angry Atari Sega nerd. He's the angry video game nerd. He plays the worst games of all time. Horrible abominations of mankind. They make him so mad he could spit or say cowabunga. Cow a fucking piece of dog shit. They rip you off and don't care one bit. But this nerd, he doesn't forget it. Why can't a turtle swim? Why can't I land the plane? They got a quick buck for this shitload of fuck. The characters' names are wrong. Why is the password so long? Why don't the weapons do anything? He's the angriest gamer you've ever heard. The game sucks so bad he makes up his own words. He's the angriest, most pissed off gaming nerd. He's the angry Atari, Amiga, CDI, ColecoVision, and Television, Sega, Neo Geo, TurboGrafx, 16, Odyssey, 3DO, Commodore, Nintendo nerd. He's the angry video game nerd.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 123 of the Nerd Rage Renegades. And Chief's here with me, and of course tonight our special guest, the guru of the angry video game nerds, Cinemassacre's own James Rolfe. James, thank you for coming back on the show.
Yeah, good to be back. Good to see you guys again.
It's I love working with you because it always, we always coordinate our schedules, and it's either we're busy, you're busy, but we always come together, and it's so good, and I'm glad that we're able to make it work every time.
Yeah, almost an annual thing, I think. Was it a year or more?
I think the last time you were on was 2015.
Okay, so
wait a minute. The last time you were on, you had just finished your movie.
Oh, really? That long ago? Okay.
It was that long. You had just finished your movie, so it's been a little while.
Wow.
And of course, this last year you've been so busy, and I do want to say congratulations that the movie got up on Vudu.
Oh, thanks.
I bought it again on Vudu.
Well, thank you.
Because I love the movie.
Humidifiers and shit on right now. Let me turn some of that off so there's no noise.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
As I get a nice look at the nerd room again.
Yeah, there you go. Should I look cool or anything? Because I'm kind of just dark and I don't have any.
That's all right. Chief always sits in the dark.
Okay.
Yeah, I got two lamps on it here, and it's still this dark. If I put the ceiling on, it's just gonna flood everything out. So.
Oh, okay. I forget if we were recording video or not, or if it was just.
No, it's just audio, but of course, we like to see, we like to see that way we can,
It's more personal that way.
yeah.
I guess. So irritating.
But I get to see the nerd room again. Of course, my nerd room is I'm still in the process of building it.
Oh, okay. You got a nerd room in the works.
I've got a nerd room in the works. I've added a Sega Master System and a Sega Saturn to my collection finally.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm working with those and trying to get my own video channel going this year.
Oh, cool.
As a counterpart to the podcast, I'm going to be doing some gaming reviews. I'll probably go more the Genesis route, since it seems like everybody does Nintendo. A lot of people do Nintendo. Very few people I see do a lot of Genesis style videos. So,
yeah, I'm always interested in the Genesis side of things more as an adult, because as a kid I was more on the Nintendo side of things. Those were the consoles I had.
And I saw today's James and Mike Monday was Sonic the Hedgehog 2, which is, of course, one of my favorite games of all time.
Yeah, definitely. I'm glad we finally got to that one.
And Mike, you made Mike play as Tails, who cannot die in that game. He's just
Tails is the bitch.
He really he got a little bit more in Sonic 3 because he was able to like carry Sonic and fly up with him a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So I watched the first part of that. But it's been a busy year for you, and with everything that you've done. And I want to start off first of all because it was just a few months ago with Monster Madness.
Yeah.
And now this was Monster Madness 10.
Mm-hmm.
Now, and this was the last time you'll do the full 1 month.
Yeah.
Of every day, correct?
It was too much to take on, but I think 10 years was like a good like metric to stop it at. But there will be something every Halloween. I mean, there's no way I can just let Halloween go without doing anything, because it's like a tradition. But so it could be something like a week, or just like something on like every Saturday, or I don't know right now. But it's all about like what can I actually handle.
Right.
Yeah, I think the hardest thing now, I think, is finding 31 movies. I just don't think I can do that anymore, because a lot of times before it was by memory, and now it's more about I need to find 31 movies and watch them all, and then the time it takes to watch them all is just too much. Because a lot of times I'll watch a movie and I don't really have much to say about it. Like, I need to find like something that actually drives me to make the video. Like, oh, I need to talk about this movie. I have all these things I want to say about it. But if I just sit there, I'm just like casually watching it, and I'm like, I don't know. It's not really worth it for me to make a video.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, so were there? I watched Monster Madness, and there were so many movies. This was kind of more along the lines of like the hodgepodge. It wasn't a particular, like you've done Godzilla-thon and things like that. This was more. There's so many movies. You talked about one I told Chief about, Krampus.
Mm-hmm.
Which I thought was hilarious.
I like that movie. I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, it was fun.
I almost thought it was when I was watching that movie and I saw the Gingerbread Men. The first thing that came into my mind was the Ginger Dead Man with was it Gary Busey? I think did the voice.
Busey.
Yeah, there's been a few of Gingerbread Men movies.
But you did that. You covered things like Metropolis, which is of course I guess you could say it was a classic film.
Yeah. I was like, is it a monster movie? Does it fit? But it fit in comparison with other things I've done.
And then one of the movies, we've actually had the director on this show, The Babadook, which nice. I think was just a fantastic film.
Oh, great. That's awesome.
She was really nice. And so with Monster Madness, does it feel, understand the immense task it is to take on 31 movies in 31 days? Is it kind of like you can breathe a sigh of relief now that you don't have to worry about getting that together? So I'm sure you plan that months in advance to try to get that out in time.
Yeah. Like now I can do things that are more immediate. Like if you'll probably see more movie reviews more often now that aren't necessarily horror. They could be anything. And it'll be scattered throughout the year more, as opposed to like building it all up till October and then just blasting out 31 videos all in 1 month. So that'll be cool. Cause I just did those Wizard of Oz videos and just now I can just do whatever is on my mind. And I could.
I know it's a horrible pain in the ass. I did this one time for this podcast. Is for the whole month of October, I wanted to do movie lists and the best of different horror genres each week. And just doing that for the podcast, just an audio format without video editing or any of that stuff, my hair out by the end of the month. And I said, never again will I ever again. So I can't imagine doing videos for all that. That would drive me nuts.
Oh yeah, if you come to think of it, that making videos for reviews is kind of it's really like a new thing. That's like the past 10 years or more, where it was. Like before, someone would review a movie or a game or whatever, they'd write it. It would just be a blog, and now it's like you write it, but then you're also gonna voice it and then appear on camera and record it all and then edit it together with footage from the game or the movie or whatever. It's like all that didn't exist a long time ago.
And now there's reviews for everything: trailers, 2-minute. 2-second blips online. Here's my review of the announcement for the trailer.
Yeah, reviews.
15-second teaser.
Yeah, reviews have been around since the beginning of time, since plays, and now in just this short period of time, like past decade, it's now it's like a multimedia thing to do it. Not that you have to. I mean, you could always do it just audio, but it's just kind of like a new medium.
I did enjoy your reviews, your spoiler. I think you did a spoiler-free and a spoiler review for Shin Godzilla, and I ended up taking my son to see it. They played it for about 3 days at the local theater, so I was able to take my son to see Shin Godzilla, and I absolutely enjoyed it. And
oh, cool.
I'm waiting to see. Chief hasn't seen it yet, but I'm waiting to see how that little teaser at the end with Godzilla's tail, how that's going to play out in Toho's next film.
Because it looks like all baby Godzilla's in the tail.
As long as it's not Matthew Broderick saying that's a big pile of fish, or so. And of course, just recently you came out with the Astro Bastards, and I have to ask about your how did the Astro Bastards come about? Because you had so many people in this video, and it was just hilarious.
Oh, cool. I did a making of video, so forgive me if I repeat, if I sound like a broken record, or if any part of that. But it was basically just I had an idea to do a science fiction movie for the past 15 years or so. I did a movie called Kung Fu Werewolf from Outer Space, and after that, I felt like I still wanted to do more. And I really like the idea of science fiction movies where the special effects don't look realistic, because it's just kind of ironic that it's meant to depict a future technology and it's supposed to be real sophisticated, but you can tell that it's like hubcaps and things like that. So
my favorite is the lightning bolt helmet with like the one lightning bolt mohawk thing and like the antennas coming out. That's the greatest.
Yeah, I just love that stuff. Plan 9 from Outer Space, it was called one of the worst films of all time, but that was something that inspired me, actually. I was like, oh, wow, here's this guy who didn't have a lot of money, but just decided, fuck it, I'm going to do it anyway. And
exactly.
That always stuck with me. And so I just love doing that kind of stuff. So since then, I've been saving lots of junk. Like, I'm just kind of like a creative hoarder where I just find hubcaps and things. I'm like, this could be a spaceship or this could be a robot. So I just saved all this stuff up. And then finally, we shot a scene for it a couple years ago, December 2014, and then nothing came of it after that. I just didn't have time to finish it. Because then I finished the Jekyll and Hyde trailer, and we had that whole Board James saga after that, and then it just was kind of on the conveyor belt with everything else. And finally, I got up to it, and these past few months, I knocked it out. And that's pretty much it.
And Doug
I saw the video where
you
said
that.
What video?
You said how hard it was to get the flying saucers balanced and the spaceships on the strings. I was wondering, do you got a more